protected with purpose. How can a child survive when the world is set against him? Pharaoh ordered every Hebrew baby boy to be killed, but Moses' mother chose courage. She hid him for 3 months. When she could no longer hide, she placed him in a basket and entrusted him to God. Pharaoh's daughter found him and raised him on her own. God protected Moses because he had a purpose for him. But how does a Hebrew child raised in royalty lead a nation of enslaved people? God placed Moses in both worlds. He knew the language of the palace and the pain of his people. God met him in the wilderness after a moment of anger and exile. God prepares his leaders in secret before revealing them to the public. If you believe God protects those he has called, leave an amen in the comments. The call at the bush. What if God calls you and you feel completely unqualified? Moses encountered God in a burning bush, a holy ground in the wilderness. God told him, "I will send you to Pharaoh to bring my people out of Egypt." But Moses said, "Who am I?" God didn't answer with Moses. He replied with his name, "I am." What if fear and doubt still try to silence your calling? Moses still doubted. "I'm slow in speech," but God said, "I will be with your mouth." Our weaknesses do not limit God. He works through them. When we say yes, he provides everything we need. If you trust God to equip those he calls, type Amen below. Confronting Pharaoh. How do you stand against injustice when the odds are against you? Moses stood before Pharaoh, not with weapons, but with the word of the Lord. "Let my people go." Pharaoh refused, and God responded. Plague after plague, God revealed his power. Egypt's gods were silent, but the God of Israel was not. But what if obedience makes things harder before they get better? After Moses obeyed, Pharaoh made life worse for the Hebrews. But God's promises are not void when trials increase. Deliverance was coming. Faith must hold on through the pressure, knowing God always finishes what he starts. If you're holding on to God's promises, comment Amen. The God who makes a way. What do you do when there's no way forward or back? Israel stood at the Red Sea with Pharaoh's army behind them. Fear rose, but God said, "Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord." Moses raised his staff, the waters parted, and God made a way where none existed. Every enemy was swallowed. Every step forward was a miracle. But what if doubt returns after the victory? In the desert, the people grew weary. They forgot the God who split the sea. Yet God remained faithful, providing water, bread, and guidance. Miracles may fade from memory, but his presence never leaves. Comment Amen if you trust the God who makes a way. The mountain and the mercy. What does it take to lead people who keep turning away? Moses met with God on Mount Sinai. He received the law etched by God's hand. But the people below built a golden calf while he stood in glory. Moses interceded for them, pleading with God to show mercy, and God listened. But what if brokenness seems too great to repair? God gave Moses a second set of tablets. He revealed himself as compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, and abounding in love. Even in failure, God gives a way back. His covenant is not cancelled by our sin, but restored by his grace. If you're thankful for God's mercy, leave an amen in the comments.